Hello, and welcome back. So today, we're talking about manifesting. Although, I wish I had my whiteboard. I just don't have a desk right now. But it's manifesting, not M-A-N-I, it's M-A-N-A. So, I'm doing this a little bit different. I've been watching, over the years, a bunch of different videos on this topic, and I finally decided to compile one myself, because I feel like I've gotten better at it. I'll go into details in other videos. Fortunately today, this is just the fundamentals. There's going to be a series. And the reason that is just because I can't pack all this information into one video. Unless it's going to be 3 hours long, and then it just gets complicated. So, we're going off the formula, and I will put it in the description. The mana formula I came up with in another video. And when I say mana formula, that's specifically tailored to witchcraft. But you just go watch the video, you'll know what I'm talking about. So based off of that video, the mana formula, I'll give you a quick summary. In order to cast magic or cast spells or do any energy work, you use energy, or emotions, because that's the energy, time, and identity. We'll go over that quick. So what is mana? I actually had to write notes. Mana is stored direct emotional energy, over time reinforced by identity. Let's write notes. Thoughts alone are weak. Emotion is fuel. Time is accumulation, and identity is the container. Manifestation... wow. Manifestation doesn't respond to wanting. It responds to being. Repetition. Now, what is manifesting? Manifesting is the process of systems, inner systems, organizing the outside world. Okay? My point of this video is to remove some of the mysticism. Like I said, I've watched manifesting video after manifesting video, and I always felt like there was some kind of quality I just wasn't getting. So I broke it down logically, the best I could. And what systems am I talking about? Inner systems is your nervous system, your belief system, your emotional charge, your identity, your expectations of outcome, and your attention. These are all things. The truth be told, I'm sure you've heard this before, we're manifesting every flippin' day, whether we know it or not. This world around us is literally a direct reflection of how we feel. So if, I know this is really hard to accept, but this is the first hurdle. The reality we are in is a reflection of how we act, how we think, and what we believe. That's manifesting. Literally, it's quite literally, the way we think is manifesting into this reality. So say, for instance, something simple like, oh, I got bit by a dog and I think all dogs are bad. Well, the universe will reinforce that thought. I digress, so we're going to move on. Emotion. Emotion is raw mana, but not all emotions can be good fuel. Emotions are fuel no matter what, but again, it's kind of where you direct those emotions. As we were talking about attention, we'll get back into that, I'm getting ahead of myself. But I need some grounding. So as you can see, based on your emotional state, that also charges whatever outcome you're going to get. So that's why people say don't manifest from fear. Well, you already do. Whatever you're afraid of tends to manifest because those are strong emotions. How many times have you, because I've also had it, how many times have you had, oh man, I knew that was going to happen? Well, yeah, that's because you focused on it and thought about it and gave it power. We'll go into other videos on how to actually correct that or change it or edit it. Let's go with edit it. Edit is the softest word I can think of. And then from our emotions, well, that comes from our perception. The perception filters emotions. So as I just got done saying that dog example, if I believe all dogs are bad, that's a perception. So from that point, I will have negative emotions. I will hate dogs. I will dislike them. It's because my perception became warped and my emotions towards it change. So you must feel safe in whatever system is being called. So if I really do want a dog and I wanted a dog to get over my fears or whatever, well, if you buy a dog while thinking dogs are bad, it will pick that up, and it will actually be scared of you. Or scared in the scenario because it also doesn't feel safe. You don't feel safe, it won't feel safe. It's this whole thing. So if you try to force it, it reinforces the negativity. So how do you do this? Let's go off number one was emotion. Pick a desire. Any desire. Like from that scenario, I want a dog, I want a companion. Ask if this was already my desire. Well, no, that doesn't make sense. Ask if this were already in my desire. Fuck the notes. Basically, how would you feel? That's the first thing. Think about emotions. Now, there are ways to manifest without emotions, and I'll go into that in another video. Because for the longest time, I've been emotionally shut off. I was emotionally dead. And there's still ways to manifest without emotions. But we'll just, for the sake of notes, even though I just got done saying fuck the notes, you pick a desire. Say, most of the things people want is abundance. They want money. Well, how would you feel if you actually had said money you want? How would you feel? Think about it. Now, if you feel good, focus on that feeling. Focus on relief. Focus on just whatever is coming up. And it's like, okay, I feel good. I feel good. It feels soft. It feels... For me, it doesn't. I'm actually getting some kind of weird heart-clenching feeling still. Which we can talk about, unfortunately, in another segment. It'll still be in the same video, just... So if it doesn't feel good, we'll circle back to that and think about it later. But if you do feel good, just hold that emotion and be like, okay, when I think of money, I feel emotionally safe. I feel secure. I feel happy. I feel free. Focus on those feelings. And hold them as long as you can, but typically 30 to 60 seconds, that way you don't burn out. Time is number 2. Time is not waiting. Time is pressure. It's basically a pressure cooker. It's you pouring your mana, your energy into the pot, and it just keeps boiling it. And over time, the soup will be ready, once you put all the ingredients in. That may not be the best analogy. I had actually thought of something else. But that's essentially what it is. Or you could think of like a diamond, a coal. A piece of coal, over time gets pressured, gets pushed and compressed until eventually it becomes something different. It's essentially the same thing. You just keep pouring your emotions to a certain degree. Now, you can't flood it like crazy. There's give and takes on all of it, and we'll have to have another video for that. But basically, time is the space in which you plant your garden. Time is the space in which your soup cooks. Your manifestation soup. It's repetition. It's consistency. And it's lack of contradiction, which is really difficult. I say it's difficult. It's been difficult for me. So, it's not like one time and you're done. You can't just pour your emotions into a note and burn it and say, oh, there we go, my manifestations will be there. At some point you can. I'm not saying that's impossible. It is possible. But at your current state, it's not. It takes time to get yourself to that point. So, consistency. I recommend journals. For instance, journals and script writing, which is affirmations. One thing I will get into here in a second, but that helps you keep hold of the idea over time. If you log in a book, 3 or 4 affirmations a day, that really helps you visualize it and consider it and keep it going. That helps you keep feeding the emotion over time. That's something I actually am currently lacking and I've been working on. Journaling helps, that's what I said. Take time out of your day. Maybe, it was in the same spot. Maybe journaling after you do step 1. So you feel the emotions, you visualize what it's like, and then you journal it. And then you journal as if you were already there, or as if it was already happening, or write down the affirmations to continue to affirm it. Then here's a big one. Oh, and the affirmations must be written in the present. You can't be like, oh, I want money. I want money. Now I'd be like, I have current abundance. I am abundant. I am whole. You have to write it in present tense. And here's the big one that I feel like a lot of people miss, is identity. Who are you? This is one that everyone struggles with because we don't know. We don't truly know. We only know what we've been told. So, for instance, it's like the gatekeeper, the guardian. It isn't there to punish you. It just does its job. So say you've got this person standing at the factory, and it's his job to let through what he sees. This is a really bad analogy, but it's like damage control or quality control that's impartial. It lets whatever through the gate. But it looks at what it's seeing, and it's like, okay, well, this is what he told me he wants, but this is how he's feeling, so we're going to let the feelings through. We're going to let the identity through. Not what he wants, but we're going to let what he says through. It's essentially another version of you that identifies who you are in the current moment. So, for instance, if I say I want money, but I am back to that feeling of that nasty feeling in your chest. Well, when I say I want money, there's a clutch in my chest. I'm like, why does this hurt? Well, maybe I've identified myself as someone who doesn't deserve money. Maybe I don't want it truly, because I have a fear of it being evil, of it controlling me, of XYZ. You could sit there and lay down all your subconscious beliefs, but that's where it's coming from. So you say, I want money, I desire money, but your internal self is like, no, you don't. Money's evil, money's bad, something like that. Well, that gatekeeper sees the internal belief and goes, well, you say you want money, but your insides say you don't, so we're gonna go with the insides. Sorry, that's just how it works. It's not trying to punish you, it's just that's how the filtration system works. So it's kind of like a bouncer at a club. You gotta match the certain vibes, and the bouncer decides what vibes go through. So, it's not that it's trying to punish you, it's just how the system works. So as we were saying, go back to lesson 1, how would you feel? Let's recorrect that. If you don't feel like you're in alignment, if it doesn't resonate with you, then you have to kind of look at your emotions and be like, why? Why though? The unfortunate thing is a lot of manifesting is actually shadow work. We're gonna get to that. So you don't manifest what you want, you manifest what you are. So say maybe you're scared of success. Maybe you do want success, maybe you're scared of it. Maybe you do want to work hard and you want to be like a great artist. I want to be a great artist. However, if I go home and watch anime every day and dream about being a great artist, it's never going to happen. It also requires a certain level of action. So if your current identity is not enforcing your beliefs, I'm a great artist, well, what does a great artist do? A great artist practices. A great artist studies. A great artist journals. A great artist whatever XYZ to you. So it's like, okay, well, if I'm not embodying that, I'm telling the universe, essentially, the gatekeeper, nah, I don't really want it. I just want to dream about it and think about it like it's a lovely daydream, a happy thought, but I'm not actually going to put in the effort to manifest it. And it's like, okay, well then, sorry, nothing's going to happen, bud. Plain and simple. This actually took a lot quicker than I thought. I was ready to talk for hours, although I'm not done with notes yet. I just can't get the page to flip. Come on, paper. Agree with me. Thank you. Alright, for instance, dreaming of great artists, blah blah blah, just read that. It's almost like a Santa letter to the universe. Now, it's not really whether you're good or bad, naughty or nice, but it's like you send out your nice, present list to the universe, to Santa, and say, hey, these are all things I want. But then you go and pull little Susie's hair and drop coal in somebody's car. You know, I mean, like, you go through and you don't align to it. Santa's gonna look at it and be like, sorry, bud. Just no. No. Sorry. And again, it's not punishment. It's just like, if you're not willing to do the work, why would it happen? Again, I make it sound negative, but let's put it this way. There's an old child story I used to read, or read as a child. And it was about this chicken. This chicken and all of her chicklets. And it's like, alright, come on little chickies, come help us make bread. We're gonna plant the seeds. And you see all the barn animals are like, nah, we aren't gonna help you. Nah, sorry, we're a little busy. And the chicken goes, okay, come on little chicklets, let's do this. They plant the garden, they plant the wheat. And then it's time to harvest. Once again, they look at the animals. Will you come help us? And they're like, nope, sorry, we're busy doing animal stuff. Chicken goes, okay, harvests all the wheat, does all the job, the chicklets get all the wheat. Next thing you know, they're sitting there making desserts and bread and stuff like that. And all the animals come by, oh, can we have some of that? And they're like, no, why would we do that? We earned this. Get the fuck out. No. We did the work. You didn't do the work. Sorry. Plain and simple. And again, it's not that it's angry or bad or judging you. It's just you... I don't want to say prove yourself, but you have to show that you're willing to put effort. Be grateful, essentially. No, okay, I've kind of jumped around on my notes here, but now this is where most of us get stuck, is that negative feeling. It's because, again, maybe we say, oh, I want money, and then we feel bad, and we just kind of ignore it. We're just like, nah, this manifestation or this spell or this thing is going to bring us money, despite, you know, we just assume it's going to happen, which part of it's necessary, but again, it's we don't really take a deeper look at ourselves and say, well, why is this happening in the first place? Why do I feel like I need that? Why? Why is there a knot in my chest? Why did it feel like I got punched in the stomach? Why are these negative emotions arising when I feel like it should be positive? Here's why. Because our nervous system doesn't feel safe. It doesn't feel safe to receive. I'm gonna go out on a limb. If you've been watching my video for a little while, you will know. Everyone's had a rough life. It is what it is. But I've had things where it doesn't feel safe. I've had negative patterns emerging saying, no, it's not safe. Like, for instance, for me, I felt like it's not safe to receive. It's something I've been working on. But whenever growing up, receiving always had a cost. I never got anything just unconditionally. It was, you can have this if you do this. You can have this if you do this. Even recently in my current life, I asked my sister for help at one point, and she gave me an ultimatum. And said, okay, sure, but that's only if you take antidepressant pills. I'm just like, well, that's not help, that's manipulation. You're willing to help me if I only follow your rules and do what you say. That's not help. So that reinforces the negative, I'm not safe. Because somebody wants something from me if I want help. So if I don't have something in my life, I have to get it myself. I have to work for it. I have to do it. And that has been something I've been letting go. It's been actually quite difficult. Because it's like, I don't feel safe. The nervous system is like, nope. Because whether you remember it or not, your body does. Your body remembers this stuff. The sensations, the emotions. Whenever I receive, I get the emotional charge of, oh, guilt and negativity, and I don't want this gift, but yet I want to receive. You know, are you kind of getting what I'm saying here? I want to receive, but I don't feel safe to receive. Hard truth. This is the flatline truth at the end of the video, if you still made it. Manifestation isn't creating. It's actually stripping away your doubt. Let me repeat that. Manifestation is not creating. It's actually the act of removing, of stripping away your doubt. The parts of us that say no, or the parts of us that say I can't. So that's kind of why it says it's shadow work, and it sucks. Nobody wants to fucking hear that. Truth be told, nobody does. What do you mean I have to work on myself to get what I want? It sucks. It really does. But here's the interesting part. Even if it sucks, think of it this way. As a kid, we're told to eat our vegetables, and they suck. We don't like it. A generalization. And there are some kids who do like vegetables. I'm just being very general. But we love ourselves so much because our body truly needs it that we're willing to do it. That's what you have to do as an adult, is make a conscious effort to be like, oh, well, I understand that these things are good for me, and I may not like it, but it's helpful. So you choose to do it anyways. Now, I will go into another video. It's easier to segment it and break it up. So there will be more videos on how to actually do this and further instructions, I guess. But if you've made it this far, I do ask, share the video. Help blow up the channel. If this actually was useful and helpful to you, there's more videos. Subscribe. There's other videos you can check out. Stuff in the comments. Description. Help raise awareness. There is more information to come, and I will give you a bit of a hook, a little tantalizing teaser. I found something out that I actually haven't found anywhere else on YouTube. A lot of people say that, but I've actually been watching YouTube, and I'm like, I haven't seen this get noticed. So unfortunately, you gotta tune into the next video for that one. Sorry, guys. That's how they get you. Hook it in. Just reel it in. Just reeling it in. Share this, like it, whatever. Other than that, you guys have a great day. I'm gonna go play in a forest.